We'll just take questions for Coach Bannerford, who's ever ready.
Matt, did you get defensively what you wanted other than the result on the play where Bridges hit the basket?
Yeah, you know, he made a tough shot, obviously. You know, you'd like to keep it out of his hands. But, you know, anytime you hit a dribble up 25-footer, you got to tip your hat to him. He made a tough shot.
What's your philosophy when you have a foul to give?
Yeah, I don't like to foul in that situation, just like our game against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they use their foul, and then they foul us, and that's how we win the game. So, you know, they earned it. The last thing I want to do is foul intentionally, then all of a sudden Miles gets the ball and he drives, then we unintentionally foul him, and he hits 2 free throws. You know, he earned it. So, you know, you're going to give him credit for that.
Coach, in terms of executing in the back your game plan, what you set out to do in this game and how it came to fruition, how do you feel you were able to do that?
Well, you know, they made a decision not to double Isaac, and so a lot of people won't continue to go to the well. I wish we would have, you know, made some threes in the second half. I thought in the first half we had a good balance of making some threes and going inside to him. So we wanted to keep going into him, and since they were staying one-on-one, just keep it simple. And we were able to do that, you know, for the most part. You know, 10 misses in a game is a lot for him. I know he has 12 field goals, but for him that's a lot of misses. And, you know, just have to keep working. And, you know, they made a decision. And so, you know, we had to roll with it. And that's something that we really harp on with our team is, you know, they make the decision what to give us. You know, we got to take what they give us. And I think that's an important thing, you know, for our team to have balance. Is just take what the other team gives them, you know, gives us, and, you know, play hard.
How do you sort of process this week, the way the last 2 games ended?
Well, you know, you lose today on a step-back three-pointer by, you know, a great player, and, you know, you lose on a tip-in after you get a stop, you know, by another great player. You know, Kata Bixby made a heck of a play, and Miles Bridges made a heck of a play, but, you know, that's part of basketball and competition. You know, it's a fine line between winning and losing. We've won a lot of games this year in possession-type games. Now, we've lost a couple. You gotta learn from them. And I think that's the main thing. If you can be better because of it down the road in March, you know, they can help you.
Man, it does seem that the word is out that the only way to have a shot against Purdue is to not give away open threes. So what do you can do to counteract what's clearly happening out?
No, I think we just keep going to the well. You know, he's a good player. Isaac Haas is a good player, and you know, there's a lot of places that we could have played this game, and you know. And got a little more benefit of, you know, some calls and some things that happen. When you're on the road, that's just the way it is. You know, you got to go down there and you got to battle. And they have a lot of bodies to throw at you. I think that's the one benefit that they have. They run a lot of people in there. So, you know, I think as we continue to play, you know, he's just got to, you know, kind of. No one's really done that, what they just did today. And so, obviously, the game could have went either way. So one more possession for us, you guys will be talking about. That's the, you know, greatest thing in the world to do is just keep throwing it to him. So it's still a pretty good option.
The jumper Kenny Goins made
Killed us.
Did you see on film his ability to do that, or was that?
Well, he triple bounced one in Iowa at the end that, you know, helped him win the game. We knew he could shoot. He hit 2 threes against Maryland. He was 3 for 10 in conference play going into the game. So, you know, we're familiar with, you know, what he could do. But if you have that 5 out on the court, that's the guy you want shooting it. And once again, you know, give him credit. You know, he stepped up, and that was a big basket.
Well, never mind, just for the moment, who won the game, which is tough for you to do. What kind of game was that as a showcase for the Big Ten and college basketball?
Well, I think it was a great game. You know, it was, you know, 2 really good teams, 2 really competitive teams, and you know, I wish we played, you know, Michigan State twice every year. Just like I wish we played Indiana twice, just because, you know, we lost this game, but we're better. We're better than we were 2.5 hours ago. Anytime you play against one of his teams, you're going to be challenged. And we put ourselves in position to win the game, and we obviously didn't. But I think this was a great game, you know, to show a lot of people in the country that the Big Ten's a pretty good conference.
Well, you didn't have any trouble getting Isaac the ball. Was he getting the position that he needs to get there?
Yeah, you know, give Schilling. I thought Schilling really worked hard. In the last shot he missed, you know, he just had him out a couple feet extra with it. So, you know, and that's we got to try to get him a little bit, you know, a little bit deeper than that. Right. But no, I liked the shots that he was taking. One time he went to a turnaround and Schilling got a piece of it, and you know, I want him to be as aggressive as he can be, but he can go either way. I thought his hook was pretty good with his left hand tonight too.
Matt, over here, if you would please. Yeah. You obviously played in the Big Ten. You understand it, and obviously not the loss, but to play in this game, a Jud Heathcote tribute with Gene Katie in the house, So was it a special time for you? Obviously not the loss, but the game being
Right,
part of it?
sure, you know, Coach Heathcote recruited me to come to Michigan State and was just a great guy, you know, great man. Obviously, he was, you know, known for his coaching and winning the national championship with Magic in '79, but he was a much better person than he was a coach. I mean, he's just one of those guys that got along with everybody, had an unbelievable sense of humor, and, you know, him and Coach Katie together, it's pretty special to have those two guys in the room together. So, that, yeah, it was a pretty neat thing because I was really close to coming here when I was making my decision.
Thank you.
You talked about trying to learn from this for down the road. How do you coach through? What lessons do you try to impart from
Yeah.
the
Well, you know, to me, you know, for me, it's, you know, we didn't turn the ball over in the first half. It's a pretty good stat. We had 3 turnovers for the game, but we had the 3 turnovers in a real crucial stretch where we didn't get the shots that we wanted. That stretch hurt us more than anything. We just kind of let the game get away from us a little bit in terms of what we were trying to do. And to their credit, they've turned the basketball over, and they didn't either. So we really thought that we could prey on them when they turned it over. We could go get some possessions, some transition hoops, but they didn't turn the basketball over, and so we didn't get, very many of those opportunities. But I thought it was. I thought our guys played well. I thought they did some really good things. Like I said, I'd like to have a couple of those possessions back in that stretch where we took a couple ill-advised shots, and we got a rebound on a great play by Grady Eifert, and then we would take a tough layup. We throw the ball away the next possession, and so we just got to be better at those times.
Are you concerned about those little mistakes happening in big moments here the past couple of games?
Not really. Not really. They happen. I don't think that was when you reflect on it, it's a crucial time in the game, but it's not the last 2-3 minutes of the game. We still got shots. Isaac got he got a good shot late in the game. We just didn't make it.
Moving forward, how key is it to get more scoring from more guys? You only had 2 in double figures.
Well, I think this is one of those outlier type games. They made a conscious decision to play him one-on-one. If you're going to play one-on-one, we're going to throw him the ball every time. I don't think you have to have balance when he gets 22 shots and he shoots 60% from the field. That makes sense to me. And we only turned the ball over 3 times. We got to be better in other areas. It also was more of a possession type game, but I don't think a lot of people will do that, especially when we play at home. Yes, Greg.
Well, I'm not the coach, but it seemed like Indiana and Michigan also really just singled Isaac. Am I wrong there?
Yeah.
I am?
Yeah. Indiana did. We scored when they doubled in the first half 7 out of 8 times.
How about Michigan?
So they mix it up. They do some. They go back and forth. They try to get a guy in there and run a guy and give you a different look. But no, they stay one-on-one with you.
Matt, with this coach, with the way the schedule is right
You guys should get your own teams, man. Damn.
Huh? With the way the schedule is right now, 3 teams only play each other once.
Right.
Looking at the next couple weeks here,
Yeah.
especially with the compacted nature of it and the Big Ten tournament coming up, what do these 3 teams all have to do to chase that title?
Well, obviously, they're in Ohio State's in a better position than we are. They win out, they win the league. So us in Michigan State are going to have to get a little bit of help. But I think everybody just has to focus on themselves. It's hard when you go on the road and try to win basketball games, and even at home. This was obviously hard for them, just like it was hard for us. And I think you can't beat yourself if you can try to put it in a theory. I think that's the best thing. Like tonight, we had some mistakes, but we turned the ball over 3 times. We didn't beat ourselves. Miles Bridges made a hell of a play, at the end. He misses that, we get a rebound and it goes in overtime. A lot of things can happen, but he made the play, and that's the way it is. And so I think it's dealing with younger guys too. We have some older guys. They've been through it. We won the Big Ten last year. Of just, California's not going off in the ocean here. You know what I mean? We got to take a couple days off, and we got to get ready for Wisconsin and keep your focus. I know that's coach's talk, but just be simple. Be simple and play to your strengths, and good things will happen.
I'm sure you don't have to worry about your guys' confidence with their experience and whatnot, but do you talk to them at all about the way this week went, that these were 2 coin toss games basically at the end, and that doesn't mean you're any worse a team than you were before?
Yeah. No question. I don't really get to that, really. I don't sit around and talk about it all the time. If you can't rebound, work on rebounding. If you're turning the basketball over, play 4-on-4, no dribble, get the pads out. Work on functional things that are going to make you better. When you've played in 125 college games, they've heard every speech I have. I got 4 guys. They're tired of my speeches. They want to win. They want to win, and I like our team. I really like our team. I think we can compete with a lot of people in the country, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. We were in a lot of games this year. Both of our Michigan games, Maryland, Northwestern, you know, I'm probably missing a couple, but we're in a lot of possession games that we won, and that's just part of competition.
Now, you were up 9 late in the first half against Ohio State. We're only up 2 at halftime. You were up 10, I think, today with just a couple minutes left, only up by 5. Do you put a greater emphasis on losing those leads those last couple minutes?
Yeah, we're just trying to finish the first half better. When we go back and we kind of look at lineups and different things, there's nothing that jumps out that is consistent in some of our errors. It's just, you know, we just got to do a better job of maintaining leads and finish out the half. Other night, obviously, it was worse than tonight in terms of letting that lead kind of slip a little bit. But there's another team out there, you know, competing, so it's not as easy as it might seem.
Anything else?
You guys broke the record for questions.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Mostly good ones.